Welcome back to GeoHuman Stories. Today, we're diving into a striking paradox in the United States, one of the richest countries in the world, yet home to hundreds of thousands of homeless people struggling to survive on the streets. Our topic today: why is America so rich, yet so many people are homeless? If you've ever set foot in the US, or even just watched American movies, you might be dazzled by the towering skyscrapers, the neon-lit boulevards, and the luxury cars speeding down the highways. This is the world's largest economy, home to tech giants like Apple, Google, and Amazon. It's also the land of billionaires, extravagant mansions, mega yachts, and high-end shopping malls that never close. But beneath these glittering skyscrapers, in the shadows of overpasses and urban parks, hundreds of thousands of Americans sleep on cardboard boxes, exposed to the cold. America has everything, yet not everyone has a place to call home. What does homeless mean in the US? The definition of homelessness varies across countries. According to the US government, anyone without a fixed, adequate, and permanent nighttime residence is considered homeless. This includes people sleeping on sidewalks, in parks, subway stations, parking lots, or makeshift tents. But it doesn't stop there. People who rely on friends or relatives for temporary shelter, without a formal lease, are also considered homeless. In other words, homelessness in the US isn't just about those living on the streets. It also includes people in unstable, temporary living situations, constantly at risk of being displaced. What's even more shocking is that not all homeless people in America are unemployed or destitute. Many once had stable jobs. Studies estimate that 20 to 25% of homeless individuals suffer from untreated mental health conditions, such as depression or anxiety. Many are military veterans, people who once served their country, only to be abandoned by the very society they fought for. Without proper health care, they lose the ability to work, fall through the cracks, and end up on the streets. Why is America so rich, yet homelessness is a massive problem? One of the biggest reasons is skyrocketing housing costs. Owning a home in America isn't just a necessity, it's a financial race. The real estate market has exploded in recent years, making it difficult for even middle-class Americans to afford housing. Let's put this into perspective. The average home price in the US is around $400,000. But in major cities like New York or San Francisco, that number climbs into the millions. What about renting? A one-bedroom apartment in Los Angeles costs an average of $2,800 per month, while in New York, it's nearly $4,000. Even people with steady jobs struggle to afford these prices. The federal minimum wage in the US is just $7.25 per hour. Working full-time at that rate, a person earns about $1,200 per month. Barely enough to rent a small room, let alone afford basic necessities. This is why many full-time workers are forced to live in their cars or makeshift tent communities. Making things worse, the housing market is dominated by large investment firms that buy up properties, driving prices even higher. As a result, hundreds of thousands of homes sit vacant while just as many people sleep on the streets. Housing is no longer a fundamental right. It has become a privilege for those who can afford to play the game. The growing wealth gap. America has an overwhelming number of billionaires, yet millions of people don't even have a place to sleep. The top 1% of wealthy Americans control over 30% of the country's total wealth, while the poorest 50% hold just 2%. In Europe, governments typically provide extensive social programs, including public housing, universal health care, and unemployment benefits. But in the US, the mindset is you're on your own. If you lose your job or home, it's considered your personal failure, not society's responsibility. Final thoughts. Homelessness in America isn't just an economic issue, it's a deep-rooted social crisis. Behind the statistics are real people with real struggles, forgotten by a system that prioritizes profit over human well-being. The American dream isn't always a fairy tale. Sometimes, it's a never-ending nightmare. Thank you for watching GeoHuman Stories. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss our next deep dive. See you in the next video.